Welcome, wanderers of the world, to Dovi Forum, where the pulse of the global discourse beats strong. This is your navigator, Ivan Jude Smith, who will be guiding you through the currents of geopolitics, national security, and the ever-evolving tapestry of global affairs. Today, we will be talking about the new violence that is brewing in South Asia between Afghanistan and Pakistan. There have been fresh clashes that have taken place between the Afghan Taliban and the Pakistani armed forces. So stay with me while I get into the real root of the problems that are taking place between the two nations. So friends, there are fresh attacks that are taking place between the Afghan Taliban and the Pakistani armed forces. So before I go ahead and forecast what is going to happen in the coming days or months or even years, let's go a little bit back so we understand what is happening. Okay? Now, on 11th of August 2021, the Americans signed the Doha Accord in Qatar. That was signed between the Americans and the Afghan Taliban. So it was understood that the Americans are leaving and now you take over. So the notion that the Taliban got rid of the Americans or the Americans lost the battle or the Afghans won the battle, we are not discussing that. The fact of the matter is the Americans left when they wanted to leave. Okay? Now, the Pakistanis started celebrating on the streets, distributing sweets. Lahore, Peshawar, Islamabad, that Taliban have come to power and now they will help us get Kashmir from India. That's their mindset. Okay, even Imran Khan, he started giving philosophy, started talking very philosophically, saying that independence is not just physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual, it is religiously, and all sorts of nonsense was spoken in Pakistan. Pakistan media says these attacks that are taking place in Pakistan, or even the fight that is taking place currently between the Afghan Taliban and the Pakistani armed force, India is behind that. We don't even share a border with Afghanistan. You get it? So there is a concept, externalization of threat. You get it? So that threat they've made India. Will those very same people, the media houses, or even I talk about the political circles or the military establishment, tell its people why these attacks are actually happening? No, they won't. They won't. The trust of the people has been lost in Pakistan. They had fraudulent elections. People have lost their trust in governance, lost their trust in the military establishment. So the only thing to bring the community together is to give a threat that is external. And that's where India's name comes up. The real issue is the Durand Line. The Durand Line was drawn by a Britisher. His name was, I've got it here, Mortimer Durand. They say he was in a hurry, he just drew a line and he said this is Afghanistan, this is Pakistan. The Afghans don't accept that line. The Taliban does not accept the line. They say, who are they? They wanted to create Pakistan. They drew a line between India and Pakistan. Why give our land to Pakistan? They don't accept the line. That is one of the core issues. The other is ideological issues. Pakistan claims to be an Islamic state. They don't agree with that. They say you're not Islamic enough. The Afghan Taliban, they follow the hardcore Sharia laws. Pakistan does not. So it is both. One is the Durand line, the other is ideologically. They don't match. Now, I asked one of my friends, I said that these people, they keep on their televisions, mainstream media, or even politicians, they keep saying that India has funded the TTP and things like that. Why don't you say something? Why don't you respond? So I got a very valid response. He said that if we start giving a response, who all are we going to respond to? And why should we respond to? We don't care what happens in Pakistan. We are not getting involved what is happening between Afghanistan and Pakistan. This is something, a mess that they have created, and they are bearing the price of it. The fact of the matter is the society of Pakistan does not want to hear the truth. They can't hear the truth. When you can't hear the truth, you can't address the issue. And mark my word, these attacks will continue. These attacks will continue. They will not stop because these are a bunch of incompetent people. The government, the military establishment are completely, they do not know what to do. They lost it. And I would like them to tell the public, the common man, what is the real issue? Why are we having these clashes between the two groups? If you have the heart, do it. Tell the public, they will not. India is doing the attacks. It is not in India's interest in any way. The Pakistani army is not an ideological army. But the Afghan Taliban is a force to reckon with. It's an ideological army. And that they have shown to the Russians, they have shown to the Americans. What is Pakistan in front of them? Nothing. So if the Pakistani army feels that they can fight this war with the Afghan Taliban, they are mistaken. The tables have turned. The tables have turned. And the chickens have come home to roost. They tried to sell the thought of good Taliban and bad Taliban, saying, because there are two groups. One is Tehrik-e-Taliban Afghanistan, that is the Afghanistan fraction. And the second fraction that we have is Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, that is the Pakistan fraction. So they tried to sell the idea of that is good Taliban. They were the same people who wanted the world to recognize the Afghan Taliban when they took over power. And I don't believe that they are first cousins. They are co-joint twins, both the Afghan Taliban and the Pakistani Taliban. So when they fight an ideological war with the Pakistani armed forces, the Afghan Taliban, they don't feel that what they're doing is wrong. They feel it's right. They wanted to say that the Tehrik-e-Taliban Afghanistan is good Taliban. This was some time back. Same Pakistanis. And the TTP, that is Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, is bad Taliban. That narrative is not going to work with the Afghan Taliban. And I tell you why. I tell you why. Because when the Afghan Taliban were fighting the Americans in Afghanistan, it was the same Taliban, the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, that gave them shelter in KPK. Supported them, and even Osama bin Laden was in that area for a long time. So I believe they are co-joint twins. Their ideology is the same, nothing different. I don't see them as first cousins at all. They are both part of each other, and they operate independently, but the mindsets are the same. Nothing has changed. Another thing is, it's in the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan. They are also fighting an identity, an ethnic identity that they're fighting for. Because most of them, if you look at the kind of recruits that they have, most of them are Pashtuns. You get it? And the Afghan border is bordered by a lot of Pashtuns. And they have the feeling that because Pakistan, the majority of the population are Punjabis. So they have a feeling that they have been oppressed and suppressed by the Punjabi people in Pakistan. And they have always been given a second-class citizen status, be it in the military or be it in socially as well. So if you see, number one is Punjabi, and then you have the Pashtuns. But when Imran Khan came to power, he broke that notion. He became a sense of pride for the Pashtuns. So what Pakistan did was, when they threw Imran Khan in jail. Why do you think they haven't hung Imran Khan till now? Because they know if they do what they did to the others, Bhutto and the others, there will be internal unrest within Pakistan. And I see Imran Khan, the handsome of Pakistan, he is like a soft Maulana. We have hardliners in Pakistan, he's like a soft Maulana. And a hero to the Pashtuns. So let's see what happens with Imran Khan. That is another story altogether. But currently situations are tensed in the Afghan border with Pakistan. India had moved their troops from the Pakistani border with India towards the Indo-China border. And many Pakistanis, they commented that, oh, look at what India has done. They don't even see us as a threat. Well, the entire truth is not known. Even you all have reduced the soldiers in your side of the border. Pakistan has also taken out troops from the Indo-Pak border, the LOC, and moved it towards the Afghan border with Pakistan. You get my point? Because now they have begun to sense that the threat is from that side. Every day the attacks being taking place in Pakistan, people are dying. Every day. And these attacks were not going to stop. That's for sure. What they failed to understand, the Pakistani army, that the Afghan Taliban, they don't fight a conventional war. They don't fight a conventional war. And the Pakistani army is not equipped and trained enough to fight an insurgency. I'm giving you an example. In Peshawar, there was a school attack. Around 200 children died. They were killed. That was an attack in response of Pakistan giving drone bases to America. It was done by the TTP. These are the kind of attacks that they do. For them, it is right. What they're doing, it is right. Imitate what the world says. Now they have an unconventional way of attacking. So what my Pakistani friends would have to be prepared for, the fight is not going to be at the borders. It's going to be within. It's going to be in the mainland. So there will be increased attacks in, talk about Karachi, Lahore, all the cities, Islamabad. There will be increased attacks. When what Imran Khan did was, he took the power out of Punjab. What he was successful in doing was he took the power out of Punjab and he gave it to the Pashtuns. So it was a sense of pride for them. Okay, and when you put their leader into jail, into prison, I'm not going into it whether the charges are right or wrong. You get it? So there is a sense of hatred that has come in, that we will show you what we can do. And there is actually a divide even within the Pakistani army, between the Pashtuns and the Punjabis. And it's very clearly seen. And the Pakistani army knows it. And that is the reason why what they did with Bhutto and the others, they can't do it with Imran Khan. Otherwise, they will have a bigger problem to deal with from within. Now, if you isolate KPK, then that means you have given that to the Afghan Taliban, and that is exactly what they want. That is exactly what they want. And there is no such concept of good Taliban and bad Taliban. That very ideology, what you're trying to sell to the world, that has failed. Now the monster has come back to bite. You got to understand that Pakistan has always played a double game. Now you see in their passports, it's written that they do not recognize Israel. Means this passport is recognized everywhere in the world except for Israel. You get it? Now they keep beating their chest about the Israel war that is going on. So many people are being killed. But these are the same people who are supplying weapons to Israel. And I will show you what is happening. Okay, there is an Islamic group, it's called Jaish-ul-Adl. Okay, it's a sectarian violence group. And even Iran has a problem with this particular group. Now, when there was a war, when there was an attack that took place on the 7th of October on Israel, on 9th October, the Afghans come out of the Khorasan province with 2 fighters' photographs that were killed. And they claimed that these fighters were theirs. Okay, this was the initial attack that took place on Israel on the 7th. Now, what I want to ask is, who runs Khorasan province? It's Pakistan. You get my point? You have to connect the dots. Now, Iran completely supports Hamas, that we all know about it. What you need to understand is, why is America suddenly interested in Pakistan, giving weapons or money or upgradation of their military hardware? When the Iranians caught them, okay, with what they were doing, because they are also sending, the same Khorasan province also sends insurgents into Iran. And when Iran came to know about it, for 2 weeks, they have been telling Pakistan to shut the camp down. Shut the camp down. Pakistan did not listen, and that's when Iran attacked. That was the main reason why there was an attack from Iran in Pakistan. Iran knows that all the insurgents and the attacks that are happening in its soil, it's coming from the Khorasan province and even supported by Pakistan, sponsored by Pakistan. There were also reports a time back of grenades being supplied to Israel by Pakistan. Artillery shells were over by the Americans and Pakistan supplied that. That was also disclosed a few days back, if you all know what I'm talking about. So Pakistan has always played a double game and now they're getting it from all sides. Jaish-ul-Adl sends its boys to ISKP, the Khorasan province, for training. And Pakistan has raised the stakes for themselves. These jihadi groups are born wanting to die. When you create a soldier in the army, as I said before, it takes time, it takes money, it takes resources. Here you have an endless supply of jihadis ready to work for an ideology that they believe in. So Pakistani army is not as advanced as the Americans or the Russians. Taliban have fought them for 20 years and have prevailed. Let's assume that they triumphed. What about the Pakistani army? Do they have the resources and the money to fight even a conventional war with the Taliban? Currently they don't. So they haven't raised the cost for the Taliban. They have raised the cost for themselves. This is what I see. There was a Maulana who gave a speech in North Waziristan the other day. And he said that the Pakistani army and the Pakistani government is invalid. We don't consider them. What are you going to do? The inside support of extremism in Pakistan is so much that it is very easy for the Taliban to function. They have their shadow governments in every area, every city in Pakistan. So they use the same model to throw out the Americans. The same model is happening in Pakistan. So what is that the Pakistanis have done is they have raised the stakes for themselves. Tomorrow when there are counterattacks, when there are counterattacks that are taking place in around the city on them, they have nobody else but themselves to blame. You have promoted that very ideology. You can fight a conventional war. How are you going to fight an ideological war? So it is best not to create that mindset. You have promoted that mindset. So you're getting what you bow. Whatever you have sowed, you're getting that back. And sometimes it comes with interest. These insurgency groups, you kill one leader and another stands up. So it's best not to create that mindset. But Pakistan sadly has been promoting that mindset. There was a resolution that was been issued by Pakistan at the United Nations for Islamophobia, if I'm not wrong. And I like to ask the Pakistanis, these Afghans that you're fighting, are they not Muslims? Are they not Islamic? Brothers of yours? Please let me know in the comment, are they not Islam or part of Islam? So basically, you promote something which suits your narrative, immaterial whether it makes sense or does not make sense. Now, the mobility and the capability of the Afghan Taliban currently right now that they have, does Pakistan have that currently to fight a long sustained campaign against the Afghan Taliban? They don't. They don't. And another thing is about drugs money. Many of the lay Pakistani, as in the common man, might not be aware of it. But there is drug money also involved in a lot of shady deals that Pakistani military does. So that we call the narco terrorism. From where is all that coming from? It's coming from Afghanistan. So if your economy is already in a bad state. Now, when you cross swords with the Afghans at the border, you're stopping that too. That money too. And we all know the Pakistani military is all about business. They're not the force to fight. They're not a force to fight. Pakistan does not realize right now that the tables have turned. Now they have to save themselves. How they're going to do that? That's going to be very interesting to know. But the spat of violence that they have created is only going to rise. How they will manage it, that is left to be seen. How will they insulate themselves from the violence that is going to be unleashed? But from what I know, they are not the ones to fight. At the most, what they will do, they will beg the Chinese to negotiate. But sadly, this is not going to work this time. It's not going to work. Now you ask any Afghan, why I'm saying the mindsets are the same, be it TTP in Pakistan or the Afghan Taliban, the mindset is the same. If you ask them about Osama bin Laden is a hero. But Al-Qaeda is not over here. That is the game that they play. And we all know it. In fact, Imran Khan said he called Osama bin Laden a freedom fighter. He called him what they say, Shaheed. The full world calls him a terrorist, but for Pakistan, he's a hero. So when your heroes are like this, what do you expect? You have created that mindset. You have created that hatred in the community. And that is one of the reasons why I say education is very important. Today, when I hear YouTubers, they keep going with their mics and asking people, should they be trade with India? It's a cry of desperation. They're saying, save us. Another famous speaker, Dr. Qamar Cheema, he's a Pakistani. I tend to follow his videos as well on YouTube. You'll always hear, see, today India made so many $1 billion trade deal, so and so person came to India. You can see a sense of jealousy. And at the same time, they will ask why it is India and not Pakistan. Do you think any country would be stupid enough to come to Pakistan and invest in Pakistan? With the current atmosphere that you have in the nation? Who would invest? Which is why I say education is very important. The number one tool that India has is not its nuclear arsenal, the Agni 5 or Agni 4 missiles or the BrahMos or so and so tanks and soldiers. No. Our weapon is education. The education that we have provided to our people. You see, be it Google, be it YouTube, be it Microsoft, everywhere. Who are the heads? They are all Indians. And it makes us proud. Today, I, on this channel, sitting over here, I'm proud to say I'm an Indian. Are you proud to say you're Pakistanis? You are the same people who go abroad when you are asked. You go on a holiday, be it Dubai, be it London, be it anywhere. Somebody asks you, who are you? You feel ashamed to say you're a Pakistani, you say you are Indians. Ukraine, the war that took place is still going on between Russia and Ukraine. And Pakistanis had to come out from there. They were holding the Indian flag. Why not Pakistani flag? Such is the respect that you have earned, and such is the respect and pride that we have earned. And this didn't come overnight. This is years of efforts. And the world sees the difference today. For those who say if there is a conflict between Pakistan and Afghanistan, would India support the Taliban? You get many people on Twitter and YouTube giving this nonsense out. My answer to them is no, India would not. Because when you say that Taliban don't have global ambitions, that's the same as saying as Pakistan only supports Kashmir morally. So that is a nonsense that we don't buy. Okay? But yeah, before they pan out to the world, one thing is very clear with the Taliban is the first place that they need to consolidate is Pakistan. And in doing so, let me tell you, Pakistan has helped them in many ways than one. Because they have actually created that mindset amongst the people, amongst the layman. They bring Islam first and then the country. Get it? So tomorrow, if a Maulana stands up and says that we are doing away with the government and doing away with the military establishment, I don't see it as a surprise. And the best part is, the public will support. Because currently the scenario is such, there's so much mistrust with the government and with the military establishment. These people are seeking a savior. When they supported Imran Khan, they seen Imran Khan as a savior, a messiah, a messiah, what they call it. So, if something like that does happen, I will not be surprised. Pakistani establishment had promoted that kind of mindset and has made it easy for the Taliban. So, I see the TTP getting a stronghold in Pakistan. That's for sure. Not just talking about with the gun, be it politics and everything. How Afghanistan functions, how Iran functions, Pakistan is going to be the third state. And it's natural. When you progress, Islamization is such, when you progress to a certain extent, automatically you reach a next level of it. So it's bound to happen. It's just a matter of time. Not now, maybe tomorrow, not tomorrow, day after, not day after. But it is bound to happen. And at that time, all these people, these journalists, these women in Pakistan and men in Pakistan who are rejoicing, they will get a taste of what Sharia laws are. Okay? So, many people in Pakistan, they are selling the theory that India will give arms to the Taliban to fight Pakistan. We don't need to give any arms to. The Americans have left enough in Afghanistan to fight a war for another 10 years if the Afghans want to. Okay? And so they are not in the need of any arms right now. They can fight. The question is, can the Pakistani army fight? The Pakistani army is not an insurgency fighting machine. That we need to get clear. You get it? They will have no answers. It's going to be a full-fledged war, what I see, with hardcore fighters from Afghanistan. And being unprofessional, the kind of unprofessional army that they are. Because you tell me, an army that has sold its morals, how can they fight insurgency? They are the ones to do business, not the ones to fight. You see, wherever there are attacks, large attacks, you will find videos starting to surface. 20, 30 Pakistani soldiers surrendering. So it's a common thing. people in Pakistan, they join the military or the armed forces to have a good life, not to fight. But the reverse is in with the case of the Afghan Taliban. They joined the Taliban out of an ideology, and you can't kill that because you've been promoting that in Pakistan. So how difficult is it for the Taliban to take over? Not at all. You have promoted extremism. Now you're getting the taste of your own medicine. Hillary Clinton had once said some years back that when you keep snakes in your backyard, you can't expect them to only bite your neighbors. They will at some point of time bite you. And that time has come. That time has come. Now, what I feel is their policy would be to make Pakistan bleed from all sides. This is what is going to happen. And the Pakistani establishment will have no answers to what is to come. They are going to take very heavy casualties. Their losses would always be very high. Even right now, whenever there are attacks taking place, the losses are on the Pakistani side. And they always take big losses. So, an army which is morally corrupt, they will never be able to fight. They want to earn money. What do you all think? Write in the comment below, let me know. Currently, the way I see it, the army in Pakistan is at its weakest. And the next 3 years is going to be very difficult for Pakistan. This is my prediction. And the doctrine of the army is not going to work. Neither would the government. The government is going to collapse, that's for sure. And what I see it is the Maulanas are going to take over. That is what is going to happen in Pakistan. And Imran Khan was a successful experiment, I would say. Because I don't see Imran Khan as a leader. Imran Khan was you have hardliners in Pakistan. Imran Khan was a soft Maulana. This is how I see it. Okay. And the experiment was a success because largely people followed him blindly. He had a big fan base. People followed him blindly. So the next 10 years, what I see, it would be ruled not by the Zardaris or the Bhuttos. Pakistan is going to be governed by Maulanas. And they will ensure that when you say the Islamic State of Pakistan, what is an Islamic State? They will show Pakistan what is an Islamic State. And I see it as a natural progression into what is to happen. And whether they will get a savior or a messiah or a messiah, what they call, that is, I do not know. But in the next 10 years, Pakistan will definitely get a Maulana. That is my belief. They will find one. And they have very few choices because they will have to either submit to the radicalization of the outside force or they will have to submit to the radicalization of the inside force. And what I feel is they will submit to the inside force. And the inside force right now that I see is the TTP. So let's see what happens. The radicals are going to take over Pakistan. This is what I predict from my end. Again, these are just my views. They could differ from yours. But with the way things are going on in Pakistan, I like my friends to comment below what are your thoughts on the subject. Okay? What is happening in Pakistan, I see that as divine justice. This is what I personally see. And their generation will see what Islamization is and what religious extremism is, even terrorism. They will get to see it all. And what they have created, as they say, that the seeds that you have born what you have born, now they will have to eat their own harvest. They have no choice. And when I say divine justice, sometimes what goes around comes around. What they say, what goes around comes around. Sometimes it comes back in equal measures and sometimes much more. So it's time for India to move forward. We are like 50 years ahead of Pakistan from what I see it. And it's their time to go backwards. They will be going backwards, they will not be going forward. So this is what is going to happen, and it's a natural progression for what they have done with their own population. And it's written on the wall. What I would say is, if you live by the gun, you will die by the gun. That's the moral of the story. And as an Indian, if you ask me how I feel, when I talk like this, there will be many Pakistanis who will kind of curse me, abuse me, or say that no, because he's an Indian, he is talking like that. No, I'm not. Yes, I'm an Indian, I'm proud to be an Indian, but as an onlooker, I feel sorry for the population. What is to come? I feel sorry for them. And best part is they have nobody else to blame but themselves. And whatever is happening in Pakistan, we will get to know in the news and in days to come. But all my Pakistani friends, I have one message to you all, is to keep your fingers crossed, as things could escalate to a level where bloodshed is going to be on the streets, and you have to be prepared for that. And definitely there is going to be no hand in it. You can't blame India for it, you can't blame Israel for it, you can't blame the United States of America for it, you can't blame China for it. It is all your doing. And personally, if somebody asks me why all of a sudden Pakistan attacked Afghanistan at the borders with their Air Force, again, as I said, no, this is a money fighting force. They don't fight with morals. And the IMF money that they're supposed to get, again, there were certain clauses that have been put out by the IMF. They said that you can't spend your money on defense, you can't spend that money on returning loans that you've taken from other people. You got to use that money to bring yourself out of this financial crisis that you're in already. So this is one way that I feel that Pakistan is finding a way where they say, see, we need money for our defenses. Because ultimately, it's the defense forces that take the large share of the money, of their GDP, whatever they earn. And this is again all with planning. So they are just looking for ways where they can get money internationally. Hard work money, that is not something that Pakistanis are well known for. They want money where it comes from people for free. How they're going to pay it back, nobody answers to that. They have received loans in the past as well. Where that money has gone, where it has been invested, nobody knows anything about it. But well, that's the way how the Pakistani establishment functions. No questions asked. In India, in the US, we have proper governance, whereas questions are asked. We have such a thing called Right to Information Act that has been introduced, where the public has a right to know. If they ask a question, you've got to give. You can't say that no, these things can't be disclosed unless it's something to do with national security. Fair enough. But when it comes to investment and other things, it has to be clean on paper. This is the money that has come and this is where we have invested. But whereas, that is not something that works in Pakistan. They have a kangaroo judiciary system, a sham. They have a government that is a stooge to the military and a military that fights only for money. So what are your thoughts about the issue that is taking place in Afghanistan and Pakistan? Please comment below and let me know how you like this video. And please like my channel, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Your support is what makes me make videos. So please support me and let me know what are the kind of videos you like me to make, and I will definitely go ahead and try and do so. Okay? Take care and God bless.